divine partnership coaching video. And I mean, I'm thinking it's not going to be a very long one, but we'll see. I've been thinking a lot about, I mean, well, about a lot of things. I've been thinking a lot about topics have been coming up to where a big one is to where we call, like, say, with divine masculines who are, say, caught in karmic third parties or certainly not acting very divine. And the appropriate term is unawakened masculine. And same thing if you're referring to a divine feminine who is not acting very divine. And unawakened and awakened are very specific and appropriate terms because I mean everybody's divine, really. But the question is, are you awake to it? Are you aware to it or not? And when you are on your divine path, it's not that you ever become perfect. It's not that you ever hit this place to where you never make mistakes or you never have ego moments or that you're ever done shedding layers of ego or anything like that. What it really is simply that you are most consistently aware of what you are doing and make you make your own choices. You choose what thoughts you will think in each moment, which is the only thing you ever really have control over. And when you find yourself when you catch yourself in a moment when you've been either in a dark night of soul or an ego moment, you choose better feeling thoughts and you choose to glow up. You choose to grow from it. And that's what would make the difference between being unawakened versus being awakened. And for some might say ascended or not ascended, but I think more and more I like to try to get away from kind of the us versus them thing and the idea that anyone is better or worse than anyone else. It's more a matter of is rather than difference. Like, are you awake and aware of what you are doing, or are you not? And typically, you can tell because let's say something bad happens, right? Like, I mean, I've had a series of things happen since the Great Conjunction, both in my personal life and with my DM and things like that. I mean, I had my back go out. I had an aunt who lived with us. I've known her all my life. She died of a heart attack, like really all of a sudden. My mom ended up in the hospital right after I was in the hospital, and there's been all sorts of changes with schooling and things because of COVID and all that stuff. And in each moment, I could sit there and say, man, this is really shitty. And I could focus on that. And I could say, oh, this is so hard. And it's just, I never get a break. And I'm just a good person that never gets it easy or anything. But what is that going to do? All that's going to do is manifest more of the same. And that where I get more challenged with that, to be honest, like I can look at what's going on with my family or my body and say, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Or what, even if it's not trying to, what could I learn from this? How could I grow from this? What could I do? Like when my back was out, my whole body was hurting and I wasn't getting any help and I couldn't move or distract myself from separation from my masculine, or and I couldn't take care of my family and stuff. It was a choice between, do I sit in misery about it? And there were some miserable moments. I let myself feel that way a few times, but more than that, I decided, well, what can I learn from this? Like, whether I manifested this or spirit created this, or whether it's a combination of collective energy, something or someone wants me to hold still and rest and not work and not do things. So what can I do in that time? There was a lot of the time I couldn't even sit up and write, and even while laying down, I couldn't, like, my hands would not work right. And there was a lot of things. Oh, it's funny, there's a song on called My Life right now, right? There was a lot of things a lot of shadow work that came up, thoughts that couldn't be avoided. And Nice. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, Brianna. There's a lot of thoughts that came up and things that it's not that I didn't want to face them, but they were icky and I didn't really want to think about them. And also, I was trying really hard to work on glowing up and not focusing on separation. I was trying to work on this channel and do stuff like that. So to be leveled like that and to be brought back into my pain body and physical stuff, it was like, okay, so I have a choice. I can ignore all this. I can just go to happy thoughts and zone out and not worry about it. I can ignore it. I can not talk about it. I can just wait until it passes. But I also thought, you know what, this is a big opportunity right now where I can really put focus into things that otherwise I don't. I want to say I would have excuses for ignoring. Like, I have to take care of the kids. I have to take care of this. I have to do that. And those things, I mean, understandably, nobody was going to expect me to do that stuff. I might talk about number sequences in another video. And you can look them up too. There's plenty of people who do talk about them. I will say, when you see numbers in ascending order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's usually either a yes answer if you were thinking about something that was yes or no, or it's an ascending energy. Energy is going up. In any case, I decided to take advantage of that and to really think about what I wanted next and how things were in the moment and what things was I not facing. And I did a lot of 5D work. I mean, I really did not have a lot of other choices. It was either sit there and watch TV all day and not, not do anything, and that just made me feel even more unproductive than I already felt, or do the 5D work, and and maybe reach out to more friends and to accept some of the affection and kindness and worry that other people showed that, in the past I would have had a harder time with. And I mean, even with a family member passing all of a sudden, it was like, what can I learn from this? From her life, from where she was, from where I was, from the things that she did that are now not done, that the void needs to be filled. How can I help my kids? How can I, and a lot of it too, especially in the time where, I mean, being flat on my back and not being able to work at all, like, I needed to get state assistance. And I had been avoiding that because I didn't want to go through and deal with child support, because I knew that my masculine being, as immature as he has been, it would get screwed very, very hard. And I was still kind of in a protector energy. But I told him I would wait as long as I could until I had to. And part of it was my own stubbornness, because I would much rather work harder and have, done it on my own without saying I never needed your help, kind of thing. And by, having me flattened out, like, even now while I'm feeling better, I still can't do anywhere near the amount of work that I was doing. I'm still catching up even on videos and emails and private readings and stuff, and still going through physical therapy. I have to take it. And that, in a way, also helps address some of the old codependence and the old lack of healthy boundaries and stuff, because I love him and I don't want him mad at me, and I also don't want to be the person holding the strong boundaries. But going through this stuff, it was like, you know what, though? That's where I needed to be not stronger. I needed to be more self loving. I needed to be kinder to myself. I needed to give myself the love and boundaries and attention that I was not giving myself before. And I needed to stop trying to protect him from it. And so this created a situation where it had to happen. And the irony is, right about now, when, assistance is coming in and consequences are hitting, it's actually divine timing. And it's freeing him from a situation that he really should have freed himself a long time ago, but it's also facing him with the consequences of his immaturity. And there's nobody to blame. He'll probably try for a while, but those were things that needed to happen that I would not have done had I not been laid up. And I noticed that a lot of us get into situations that are similar to where, I mean, let's take no contact situations, like no communication, no contact. Either you know that you need to pull away and not talk to them, or anybody, or you know that you need to stop doing something, or they create a no contact situation, or whatever happens, and we often get stuck in thoughts of like what we don't have and what what we want. We want to talk, we want communication, we want union. Or I mean, take job situations, or take any relationship. Like if you're single and you're just thinking about, oh, I don't want to be alone, what's wrong with me, or I want a partner or a person. Well, a lot of times we don't stop and think about why is it that we feel like we need a person, whether it's your twin flame or anybody. Why is it that we feel we have to have the right job, or a certain amount of money, or why is it that we avoid doing things we know we should be doing, and a lot of times it's because we're focused on thoughts that don't feel good, and we're focused on what other people think, and we're attaching our personal value to things that really don't matter that much. And it's because we get caught in cycles of thinking that don't feel good, which brings me back to what I titled this video. Think better, feeling thoughts. It's something that a lot of I would say gurus talk about, and Abraham Hicks, Eckhart Tolle, Tony Robbins, Dale Carnegie, like just a lot of them. They all talk about it. Like when you get to a space where things are difficult, let's put it this way: there's only one thing you can control in this world, and only one thing you should control, which is how you feel and what you think, and that controls your vibration. And there's even sometimes you cannot necessarily control how you feel, and other times that you shouldn't control how you feel, because if you don't let yourself feel how you feel naturally, you're not being authentic to who you are. Even if those thoughts, or even if those feelings in the moment are inappropriate, sometimes you need to feel them and show them in order to learn something. They can provide an opportunity too, or for someone else to learn something about you. And if you're putting yourself up on a pedestal where you're never allowed to be vulnerable or weak or human, you're not really enjoying the human experience. And people don't really ever get to know the real you. 12:21 on the clock, reflection there, and mirror energy. But when you get to a space where things are difficult, whether it's a little bit difficult or a lot difficult, one of the best things that you can do is to start looking for better feeling thoughts. I mean, I kid you not, like, especially, like, I already did this before separation started, so it was really nice to have this practice when it started, but I really got into it, was getting back to gratitude. And sometimes no matter how good you think you're doing, if you didn't start on a good foundation, if you didn't do your shadow work, if you've not been facing the stuff that you really need to do, spirit will come in and bring you a tower and knock it down to the basics. And you can either stand there and stare at all the broken bricks laying around from the implosion that you had, and you can be unhappy about it, or you can say, you know what, I got enough bricks here to build some cornerstones. And I know that I can see from how I did the last cycle how I can do a new cycle a little bit better this time. And this time I won't fear a tower. I won't fear it falling apart. I won't fear getting hurt as much as I did before. And I'll give myself grace for the moments when I do feel that fear. And when the time comes that another tower happens, I'll enjoy allowing it to happen, because that will feel so much better than seeing it coming and trying to avoid it, and then it happens anyways, and and then being angry and ornery because I had it, because it happened and I knew it was going to happen and I fought it and procrastinated it, and now I got to put it all back together again. Instead, what if you choose to see it as a good thing? It's kind of like moving or changing schools or new relationships. Like, you have a chance to build something different. You don't have to try to keep building the same thing. You don't have to have the same rules that you had last time. You can do it a whole new way. And if you're not in a moment where it's like an incredible tower, maybe you're just having like a Five of Cups moment, or Five of Wands or something, like you have a smaller tower moment, like no communication moments. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just go back to those basics and think, what am I grateful for right now? If whatever it is that happened that brought you into lower vibrational thoughts, like about Maybe it's self worth or doubt or fear or anxiety or anything like that, loneliness. Stop and recognize that you're thinking thoughts that don't feel good. And that's exactly where your vibration is going to stay if you keep thinking those thoughts. So, I mean, like, I've been trying to do more posting and do more videos that talk about, like, get away from obsessing about the journey so much. I mean, we're all going to think about it. And then, heck, there's many of us that do videos and, we earn stuff on it. But the the main thing is to recognize that life is a journey and it's not all about relationships. So many people are so over focused on relationships in general, not just in the twin flame journeys, that they don't do anything with the rest of their lives unless they have the relationship. And typically, because they're so focused on having a relationship or having the white picket fence image that we think that we need, then we spend so much time trying to prevent relationships from falling apart that we don't live the rest of our lives. Or if we get in a crappy one, we spend so much time trying to hide it from everybody else, or hide it from ourselves, that yeah, we may work on our careers, but we're not happy in it, and everything we come home to is crappy. you know or we over focus on relationships to avoid having to focus on healing family wounds, mother father wounds, inner childhood wounds, things like that. We tell ourselves it's too complicated to face stuff like that, and instead, look for better feeling thoughts. What is the opportunity in this? How many things can I learn from this? Okay, so the connection I want with the person I want isn't available right now. If I focus on that, it's just going to make me feel like crap. And either I'm going to make it worse, or I'm going to like do something stupid that I'm going to regret later, or like 100 other things. Whereas, you know what, if I look away from that right now and I look over and I see, oh, you know what? My garden could use some work. Or you know what? It's been sunny out lately. Maybe I'll take the kids and go on a small hike. 1717 on the clock there. Double star, right? And it's 8 and 8, 16 tower, 7 victory, chariot, momentum, right? And that's the key. Like, if whenever you get to a place to where you find yourself focused on something you don't have and want, whether it's a job or money or twin flame, soulmate, lover, better family relationship, whatever it is, whenever you find yourself in a place where you're like, I'm so unhappy because I don't have this thing, or I'm observing this thing that makes me unhappy, look away from it. Look at something else. Something that makes you happy. Like, don't look for other things that make you, that continue the low vibrational stuff. Look away to something that makes you feel better. And the more you practice that, this is like dieting. You're not going to just like change your diet and in a month lose 100 pounds. It might take a year to lose 100 pounds. And that's with consistently eating better and eating a diet that's not just about weight loss, and it's not a diet that you're just changing over to until you lose enough weight and then you go back to how crappy you were eating and then you regain it all. No, you pick a diet that's best for your body and all your needs, not just weight loss. You got inflammation, eat for that too. You got IBS, eat for that too. You got ADHD, eat for that too. Pick a diet that, is stimulating but focuses on what it is that is best to fuel your body and your mind and help keep you in a higher vibration. And recognize that real change takes time. You're not just gonna jump in and, in 30 days be changed around from being a total hothead to being a complete, kind, genuine sweetheart. And you're not gonna be able to go from obsessively spending everything all the time and having really bad budget skills to in a year buying a house, and then buying a second house in less than a year and doing rental properties. No, it takes time. And there are other obstacles in there that aren't necessarily, even if you have great money skills and stuff, there are other obstacles. And if you've got any number of karmic lessons to learn, both with people and with yourself, you're going to have to learn those too, because in order to get to that higher vibration, you got to stop self sabotaging. And To get there, you start with seeking better feeling thoughts. And you do it every time. I'm not even kidding. Every freaking time that you find yourself going, oh, I miss that person, or oh, I don't like my job, or oh, my body hurts. Stop. Stop and go, oh, you know what? Good. This is an opportunity. I'm going to think about something I like. I like butterflies. I like ladybugs. I like dancing. I like karaoke. I like talking with my friends. I like the things that I have accomplished. I like sunny days. And you know what? When it's raining, it's a great time to take a nap because the sound of that rain drip dropping on the rooftop is so meditative. I like drawing. I like gardening. And you know what? Things are getting better every day. Maybe not in big, huge, gigantic ways, but little by little. You know? Don't focus on how do I not talk to them, or how do I work harder, or why am I not getting that promotion, or oh my gosh, all this shit is happening in my life. No. Say, you know what? Somewhere amongst all this poop is some gold, and I'm going to find it. And it's going to be easy to find. And even if it's just the tiniest little nugget, it's all mine. And that's a gift to me. And every time I can learn to dig out that beautiful little gold nugget, I can learn how to do it again when it happens next time. And next time I know how to get back to the basics. And each time I'm going to learn a little more humility. Each time I'm going to be better at boundaries. Each time I'm going to feel less self doubting, you know? And then the more you practice that over time, the easier it gets. And then you'll find that when huge, incredible tower moments happen, either, I mean, some of them you'll see coming, but you'll start to go, oh, all right, this is about the time. Yeah, this will happen, or that'll happen. Or if I'm interacting with this certain person, they're going to create it, and I know about the timing. But even if you don't expect it, and a bunch of things happen that all fall on top of you, maybe several towers all at once, you'll find yourself naturally going to better feeling thoughts, looking in the mirror and saying, you know what, you got this. And you know what, it may be a small thing to be proud of, but I'm proud that I can do this, that I can find better feeling thoughts even when it seems like everything around me is complete crap, you know? And that, then you'll feel great about yourself, and you'll keep doing it, and you'll see that that is how you manifest. That is how you get there, you know? And the more that you start to focus on better feeling thoughts, the things that are missing from your life that you want, you give them space to manifest in your life. Whether that's given people space to miss you, or to come towards you, or to fix their lives, whether that's leaving open space for your body to heal, or for a job to come in that you love, or for seeds that you planted to grow. There's all sorts of things. You don't need to know. You just embrace the absurdity of finding better feeling thoughts and just do it. Do it, do it, do it. It's funny, that's actually a theme that's been coming up. A friend of mine's daughter, who's very young, started that. Do it. Do it, right? And then I saw a song lately that's called Do It. It's like, so that's it, you know? Find better feeling thoughts. Do it. And do it a lot. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. I'll catch you in the next video.